CaringCareersStartHere.com. Providing connections to the lives of aging Minnesotans by helping people discover careers in caregiving. More information at CaringCareersStartHere.com.
You cannot deny that you're getting older. That just doesn't work.
When we both started getting sick, they thought, we need help. You need more help than you're getting.
If you get to a crisis mode, you don't have a choice. But if you have choice, you're not in a crisis.
This place is going from fun to burden.
What do we really need and what don't we need?
Hi, I'm Melissa Fritz, host of Inside Senior Living. As a senior living consultant during the COVID pandemic and a daughter who lost her father to Alzheimer's dementia, my inspiration for this work comes from a deeply personal place. I've seen firsthand the challenges families face when navigating the complexities of aging. Over the years, I've dedicated myself to equipping older adults and their families with the information and resources they need to make the best decisions, whether that means receiving care in their own home or making a move to a senior living community. And as we all age, this need is only going to grow. That's why we're on a mission to spark conversations, support caregivers, provide valuable resources, and promote a more age-friendly world. Today we're meeting Jerry and Darlene, a couple who've been married for over 60 years. Together they've built a life full of love, family, and memories. But now, with both facing health challenges, they've made the difficult decision to downsize. It's a moment many of us will face, and their story is one of confronting those changes head-on with understanding and care.
Well, I had wonderful parents. I mean, that can't beat them. Everybody wanted my mother to be their mother, and my dad the same way. So I was pretty blessed that way.
I had a very interesting childhood. It was a lot of fun. I've got more stories than you got tape here, and I would only say this, that I grew up with a variety of relatives all around me that all loved me, and they all saw me a little bit different, and they all encouraged that difference. So I had a lot of self-esteem, self-worth.
My mother and dad had a tavern in Hugo, and I would come out there on weekends. So I peeked out the door, and he was coming in, and he asked my mother, "Who's that?"
Yeah, that was the day I hit gold. Here's this good-looking girl at the end of the bar. I came in the other end, and somebody hollered out, "Jerry, give us a tune." So I pounded out a couple of tunes on the piano for everybody, and later I asked her mother, I said, "B, who was that?" She said, "My daughter." "Really?" I said, "You'll have to introduce me sometime." She says, "Oh, well, okay, well." Okay. And I thought, well, maybe she doesn't want her daughter knowing a piano player. You know, they've got some reputation. So anyway, that's how we met.
But he asked me to go out with him, and I said, "No, thank you anyway." And walked in the back. Well, he didn't know I had 2 boys at the time, and I was pregnant.
True then, yeah.
And I was pregnant, so I wasn't really interested in him. I had been divorced and a lot of hurts, and so he told my mom that he was interested, and she told him the story. He says he got a contract to go to trucking down to Texas. So while I'm having this baby, he came back, and first thing he did is hold the baby. And the day we were married, he adopted all 3 of them.
First 5 years of our marriage, I looked at my logbooks and added it up, just the overnights. I was gone about a year and a half.
So that was a little hard to take, but we made it. Had all these kids to take care of, you know.
She's been so supportive to me in all of the, I've been involved in so much, and I was gone a lot when we were flying, but she was always there for me. I knew she was there in spirit when I was gone, and I knew she was there to encourage me in any way she could on the good days and the bad days.
When he retired, when we thought, okay, now we're old, we'll go to Florida. We couldn't stay there. It was missing the kids too much. So we have 5 kids, and we have 16 grandchildren and 33 great-grandchildren. So it's fun, and they all live in Minnesota, so we're close and we get together a lot. We did a lot of entertaining at every house we've had, but especially this one because we have the pond and we can swim in it. And we even had a wedding in our backyard, and that was fun, the tent and everything. And what else have we done here?
Well, in the lake place, we were over on the big lake at Forest Lake, Lake number 1 on the north side. And
that was always a party, like every week.
we ran it. That was more of a resort than it was home, but we enjoyed it. We left our door open, and a lot of people, they were just kind of getting started that were our age, and they had a lot of family and not a lot of money. So coming to the lake was a treat, and the kids enjoyed it. They had a great weekend, but it was really tough on Darlene. My, the cooking she did.
Well, I didn't mind it though then. I don't want to cook now.
She's always saying, I'm so proud of you girls. And I don't think she knows how proud we are of her and proud to be her daughters. She has no clue. And some of that might come from, she was always a stay-at-home mom, didn't work. She worked hard. She worked long hours. She still does. That is one thing. She in the last several years, it's been, I don't want to cook anymore. And I was like, light bulb moment of everybody else gets to retire. She has been a homemaker her entire life for umpteen kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, my dad. It's time for her to retire.
Yeah.
She loves people deeply in that when you're in her presence, especially in her home, you go away knowing that you were loved. And if there's anything that I hope that I gain from her, it's that.
They've helped a lot of people, Mom and
They
Dad.
have.
They've helped
Over the years, a ton of
wow.
people.
So many people have come through their doors and they just help them.
Take them in. And we're not talking like come in for dinner. We're talking like stay a month, stay 5 months, be our guest. How do we help you even when you're not in our home then? That's who they are.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So did you make these for all of your grandkids?
Yes. Well, all the girls.
All the girls.
The boys didn't want them.
The boys didn't want all the bling, huh? This is a fabulous space.
It is.
Is it kind of your
'Cause I can
therapy?
just do my thing, go out the door, shut the door, and nobody knows. The
You just kind of escape to your
Nobody knows
place,
the mess I
right?
made.
What a joy to have your grandkids and your great-grandkids around and to be able to have something tangible to share with them.
And they'll never forget it.
This is what you get for a cockpit after 35 years of flying. You bring home the memories and these little models, and you sit back and as you look at each one of those, you remember many incidents that took place as you go through the flow.
Yeah.
These here were early military airplanes that I was really impressed with as a young boy. When it came to a point where something really changes in your life, first one, that airplane right there was the first jet that I actually had to fly. So in a 16-year period, these airplanes, I flew the head person for the company, the chairman of the board of the company that I was working for. But I was with them for 35 years.
Allowing them the time to share the memory can really aid them in letting go. So, okay, tell me about Tell me about your 19th airplane in your den, Dad. I want to know about that airplane.
Well,
okay, so now that I've heard the story, he's passed on the story, now he can pass on that airplane. And he can keep, you know, a few that are really, really special to him.
I signed up with the Minnesota Army National Guard in 1955, and I was still in high school. There was about 3.5 years that I was in that particular guard. I was already at the airport and doing some flying and everything else. And the Army Air called me in. So I stayed with that until the outfit I was with went to Vietnam, because I had 4 children by that time. They couldn't send me in theater. So anyway, I let the clock run out. I had 8 years in, and that was the end of that, but I'm still very supportive. I still have a lot of military in me. I'm a chaplain with the American Legion, and that gives me a lot of opportunity to, especially the guys coming. I'm getting a lot of guys that came back out of Nam. They're pretty beat up, and it isn't just the guys with holes in them. Sometimes it's between the ears. That's a worse wound than a hole in your leg. They find camaraderie with each other. This is where the service clubs come in.
Yeah, the importance of community for veterans is huge. In our suicide prevention efforts, I think that's one of the biggest pieces that we've looked at is that isolation. People get isolated, they get caught up in their own thoughts and memories, and there's a creative or social way to deal with those things and talk to other veterans and reach out. And then there's the, sitting in a dark room alone in the Minnesota winter. And that's not usually the best way to handle things.
While Jerry deals with ongoing heart issues, Darlene is beginning to experience early signs of memory loss. Their daughters both work in senior care and have come to realize they need to have a conversation with their parents about their concerns and what the future may hold.
Getting older and physical decline has been hard on him. Mm-hmm. He is a hard worker, like outside, cutting down trees, hauling them away, cleaning up the shoreline, moving rocks. It was constant. He just constantly moves. He even now, he sits and you will see his hands moving, you will see his feet going, he's drumming, he's playing the piano on his lap.
Music's always been in his life big time too.
He just doesn't sit still. So this physical decline and lower energy because of heart issues has really been a difficult process for him.
Both of our girls work with senior citizen things, and they've seen a lot and heard a lot, and when we both start getting sick, they thought, we need help. You need more help than you're getting. So at first it was, no, we don't. We'll get over this, like a flu or something,
Started out in an Ebenezer community where I was the assistant to the ED and also receptionist. Just got my feet wet and I got bit by the bug. That's what we call it in the industry. You get bit by the bug because these seniors are adorable. They have their own stories. It was just, it was me. And then my sister came into it.
She said, you'd be great in sales, in my industry, in what I do. And I'm like, me? Huh?
Like,
sales? Ooh, no. But here I am. So I did, obviously I did enter the industry, and as she said, I got bit by the bug. So here we are telling others how to find solutions for these families, and yet we waffled. We knew what to do, and yet, we called it kick the can.
Melissa, we would call each other, and be like, guess what happened today? And I just, oh my gosh. And she'd be like, do you think we should talk to mom and dad about maybe assisted living? Like, no, not yet. How about if you do it? We kept doing that too. Well, you do it. No, you do it. No, we have to do it.
Yeah.
We have to be together, us and our brother. And we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked with our brother Mark, and we said, let's have mom and dad over here and we'll have like a brunch and just bring it up casually and ask them what their thoughts are in moving and what their thoughts are in how they're going to approach the next portion of their life. Because we had been seeing some things with mom in her health, and we wanted to make sure that they were ahead of the curveball with that. So we kind of used that as the premise. Yeah, well, and you know, our father has had some serious heart complications over the course of the last, 5 to 7 years. And we're looking at it as what happens if something happens to him? Mom can't live in this big house with this big yard and the beautiful pond and all the things. Mom doesn't even pump her own gas.
No, she can't. So then it'll be on us, and then we're in crisis mode. And with everybody that I work with, my sales teams, if you get to a crisis mode, you don't have a choice. But if you have choice, you're not in a crisis. So we needed to do something proactive with them, and it ended up being a beautiful brunch and a very organic conversation that we were able to have. And I think that before we did this, we were texting with our brother of, okay, back to basics of what we know from our industry. How do we approach this? Mm-hmm. We approach it with, how do you feel about the future? What's scaring you about the next few years?
And what's important to you?
What's important? Mm-hmm. How would you feel about, all of these things? And that conversation just started to evolve, and the things that they started to admit and the realizations that, you could kind of see maybe the light bulb go on a little bit. It was so relieving emotionally to have opened that door, because then we can talk about it anytime. Of it's time. It may not be time today, but it's time for us to start taking the next steps.
You cannot deny that you're getting older. That just doesn't work. And people who try to do that, they're really hurting themselves in the future. It's going to come back to bite them. So you have to go with your age, your ability, opportunities, and to change your thinking on things, but that only comes by information. If you don't go out and ask questions, discern things, what somebody else has been doing and it works for them may not work for you. Based on geography, do you want to be near your family, or do you want sunshine every day? You go move away and think that's going to be great. You'll spend your life on the airplanes coming home blowing out birthday candles. And so the answer really is, you plan early, be thankful for the things of the past, and be smart enough to know you let go of some of these things.
Jerry and Darlene are beginning the process of downsizing, a huge and emotional step for any family. While it's not easy to leave the home they've built so many memories in, it's a decision needed to ensure their future care and safety.
It's good to see you guys again.
Yeah, good to be back.
So why don't you fill me in on how is the downsizing going? That's the last time I talked to you.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Hard to imagine how much junk you accumulate over the years.
You don't need it anymore.
There's not enough cardboard boxes in Forest Lake to haul it all at once. So no, it's going all right, and we've got a plan. We're working the plan, and you got to start early and you're gonna finish late, don't let it bug you. Just get it done.
That sounds like some words of wisdom there.
Some days you just put it in park and you enjoy the day. Forget it, you know. It won't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's really good advice.
I have the same thing. I've been very busy hauling out stuff from different cupboards and clothes and pictures, and didn't know I had so much.
What about the emotional part of it? I mean, like, are you having to get rid of things that you have emotional ties to, or are you giving them to your children, or?
Well,
They don't want anything.
yeah, you know, we're all older too, and we have our own junk. So I think the things that are really special for the family, those are the things that, yes, we will keep in the family line. But like, we're encouraging Mom and Dad to actually put things in boxes that they know that they can't live without and they want to have here. So that's really helping.
And I won't let it ruin my day, I'll tell you that. If I want to stop and play the piano, hold it, train ain't moving.
You don't mind once you're there, you know, you have to downsize, you can't take everything with. So we're just thinking that way, you know, what do we really need and what don't we need?
It's important that you don't go in looking at what you would be comfortable with
Right.
the new shiny and the granite and this.
Oh, and the workout studio.
Spa. Oh, you have
Like
to
they
go
even use
in.
it.
You have to go in with lenses on that are, where would they be happy? Where would their needs be met? Where would they thrive and have socialization? It's not about the surfaces. It's below the surface.
I remember
that
saying to
counts.
Mom, "How do you feel in here, Mom? How does it feel in here?" "Oh, I like it. This feels good." Yeah.
It's so pretty.
It's so
so big.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. We know, yes.
Now, this is the 2-bedroom, 2-bath that you saw earlier. Do you remember it from before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the smaller one of the two. But it's still, it has a different layout than the larger one, but you can kind of see it's got the open floor plan.
You know, for the most part, I think that the community that we chose, like just about everyone else on the planet who's choosing, you know, senior living, it's location. For us, it is, it's so centrally located in our town for all of us to get to very quick, that we can swing in, we can say hi, we can stay 20 minutes or a half hour. We don't have to drive and make it a thing on our calendar.
So we have got to the place now where we're using an estate sale company. They're going to come in and they're going to actually price everything. They're going to have a date. They're going to have the estate sale. And so what we're doing with Mom and Dad is we're like, what is it that you can't live without? What do you want to bring to the apartment? You don't need all of this. So out of the...
Or what do you want new? Do you want a new lifestyle? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now's our chance.
Right.
Darlene,
We did it.
you did
We
it.
did it.
You
It's
did
empty.
it. I cannot believe
It's a big room, isn't
all
it?
of that fabric you had.
I didn't know it was a big room.
Right? Tell me, how did it go?
It went really well.
Good.
My girls helped me.
Yep.
Thank God they were around because, Mom, you don't need it. I guess I don't. Okay. I sold everything but my machines,
Nice.
and I gave one to my granddaughter.
Okay, how about Jerry?
Oh, he was naughty. He couldn't get rid of anything.
Really?
All that, you know, all the airplanes that were in them, he had a story about every one of them, and they had to listen for 20 minutes.
So he had stop. Take
Yeah. Finally, I said to him, Jerry, I got rid of my stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn.
I can sell a house like that because I can replace it with what I need for the next phase of my life. And that's what led me and Darlene to start saying, okay, this place is going from fun to burden. And you can't depend on your family, they have their own. So you start hiring, if you can find anybody, to come in and do all of these things, and you suddenly realize how much time you've spent on it. So with all of that, I say this, go and see what they've got to offer. You can take a lot of what you enjoyed in the past, bring those appetites into that community, and you will find that you're not as old as you think you were.
The love between Jerry and Darlene continues to guide them as they travel through this next stage of life. Their story reminds us that no matter what life brings, the strength of a relationship and the support of family can help us navigate even the toughest transitions.
She taught me to see me for what I was and what I could do for other people rather than I could do for Jerry. And that was life-changing for me, and that's what I was attracted to, and it was like a magnet, and it stuck.
Isn't he sweet?
Careful.
I don't think we ever had a time where I can't take this anymore. We've never had that. Have you? No. That's a lot of years, isn't it? Yeah, no, I wouldn't have wanted anybody else. He came for me. He rescued me.
Today, we witness Jerry and Darlene's decision to let go of the past in order to embrace their future. We see them downsize and make a move to a senior living community where they're free from home maintenance and able to enjoy the things they love. Next week, we'll meet Maria, a Latino immigrant who balances the responsibilities of caring for her aging parents in her home and a full-time career. It's a powerful story of family, culture, and community. Join us as we explore how Maria's dedication shapes her family's future.
Production of Inside Senior Living is made possible by Eldermark Senior Living Software, Helmuth & Johnson, Lotus Pharmacy, and Kickernick Gallery.